Hello and welcome once again. My name is Simon Williamson and I'm here from AVAGO-INK Designs. Thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channels, then you'll keep up to date with any information, any notifications, new products and new shows, and anything really that's we think will be really of interest for you. There's loads of inspiration on the How to Craft network, so go and have an explore. I'm sure you can find some other amazing projects on there from one of the other people that demonstrate on there. They're amazing. Right, so for today, I've got a lovely little card to show you, and this is to use your scraps of card. So I'm all for saving money. So I've got a really bright, cheerful card on this one. Pick out it's your birthday, and this is going to use all those kind of like strips of excess cards you've got. You could even use your pattern ones as well. And it's a really easy one to construct, so let's get started. I'll show you how to make this. So to start off, I've cut out a card blank that's a little bit smaller than my actual overall blank. So I'm going to keep the blank over there. I've also cut lots of half-inch strips in bright colours. So you can see here, look, got a good selection. And these were just using the offcuts that I'd got. And I'm simply going to use a tape runner. And I'm going to start just putting these down in an order of colour that I want. So let's start with a red one, for instance. Start with the red. Lay them across. I'm not bothered about them overhanging, that's not a problem. We're going to take care of that in a bit. Then we'll have a nice bright yellow. Let's go blue. I like these vibrant colours, but you could easily do this in quite complementary colours, like different shades of pinks maybe, so reds and pinks, that'd look quite nice. If you've seen my other demonstrations, I do like primary colours. I'm a big kid. Get the tape runner the right way around helps. I'm just going to build up this backdrop using all these colours that I've got. Nice greeny one there to break it up in the middle. I think we'll have a dark purpley blue. And even if these are a bit wonky, it doesn't matter. So it just adds to the background effect. Let's have some of this pink. I'll have another yellow. There you go. So I've got all my strips on that bit now. I'm just going to get rid of the excess ones we don't need. And all I'm going to do with the scissors is just trim these other bits off we don't need. So trimming down to match the card blank I'd already glued onto. Good. And it makes an amazing backdrop, really colourful. And just using bits that you're probably going to throw in the bin. Right, so I'm happy with that. So then what I've also got now is one of the rectangular nesting dies from the Stamps by Me range. And I'm going to use this to just cut out some areas. So I want my first one to be at this corner. So, put that there. Bring in the plates. Make sure that's just moved a little bit. I'm going to put that one through. And these are just going to like create a window for us to put as little characters in later. So it'd be nice to these in like sand wash effect, a bit like a beach oak, so it would look quite nice as well. And all I'm going to do now is move that rectangular die up to another area. Just peel that back. Oh. I knew the sticky tape was strong. Let me just try and rectify that a second. There we go. So, keep that to one side for another project. I'm going to do the other one now on the opposite side, going the opposite way. So, let's stick that there. Just pop that through. Just love that colourful effect. I think that'd look really nice in another project with like a sentiment on it. Just really interested in to use them scraps. Pull that one out. Let's make sure we don't rip his yellow. With strong tape I've used, let me just try and ease that back a bit. There we go. Like I say, we've got another one of those we can use for another demo as well. Right. So because my colour actually finished a little bit short of this black, I'm just going to take that black off so it gives it more of a dramatic edge when it's mounted up later. So it's just take it up to there, make sure that's level. Once it's going onto a black card, you see, you don't want it to lose its effect. And I think that'll look fine on there. So I'm going to glue this straight down so it's flat and it's already in position. So we're going to use a bit of tape runner where I can get it. And then I've got a little bit of wet glue just to go down those areas that I want to make sure stick. The glue wants to work. And get that stuck into place. I think we'll go with a red at the top, like that. Make sure that's got a nice border all the way around. And push that down. I'm just going to leave that now just to stick at one side. I'm going to bring in my stamping platform. And I've got a scrap of card. I'm going to use the lovely scenery stamp from the Farmyard collection, the one with the sunrise on there. So let's get that positioned onto that card. Just drag that over a little bit. We'll pick that up. Just give that a good ink in to make sure you get a crisp image. There we go. I'm just going to get another scrap of card as well. As I just remembered, for the sentiment side, I need the actual fields to be a little bit lower. So I'm just going to restamp this one. Just so I've got more space up here. I'll just make sure, just for that. Make sure that's pushed down, that's good. And what I can also do at this stage is bring in the sentiment which we're going to be using, which is the pick out it's your birthday. I'm going to stamp that one. Got ink on my fingers, I do apologise. stamp that just there. Give that a good inking as well. Push that down. There we go. A little bit of a smudge, but I don't think you'll notice when it's all put together. We'll put that over there. We might as well do all our stamping at once, so I'm going to bring in my fan, a little bit of card. I've got our two little friendly pigs, one that's dancing on one leg and one that's crawling on the floor. And we'll get both of those stamped out as well. There we go. Move that to one side. So, we've got two scenery areas, and we've got our little pigs. So we now need to build up some colour on these. I'm going to use watercolour, just because it's a fast way, really. And because I know I'm only going to use an area of this, I don't have to worry about doing the whole scene. So we're going to get some green onto this area, with these bushes. Just bring it a bit closer, using some of this richer green. And then we'll try some of this olivey green. Give a bit of definition to the bushes. And then I'll just reactivate this light blue wash I've got. And what we can do is just put a little bit of this blue just around the clouds, just to break it up. Around a sentiment. I'm going to use leave the centre though at white, so it brings out the letter a little bit more. And that's that side done. I'll move that one up. And then the other side, I'm going to use the sun side. So same as before, just going to bring in these greens that we've made up. So let's look at that hill there. Bring that down into the underground bit. I'm going to put a little bit of brown in there as well, just to break it up. And we'll use a bit of a richer green for the hills, going upwards. Make that a bit more vibrant, look. I'll bring in some of that bluer colour again, just to give a little bit of depth to this sky. Make it a bit darker under the sun. Just take some of that around there. A bit of orange there. And we'll just go in with a little bit of yellow, just so we can do some of them rays. So it's breaking through the clouds. That's the two scenery bits done. And the last thing to give a bit of watercolour to is our two little piggies, which are really fast to colour as well. So we only need them to look a bit piggified. So we're going to use a bit of a pig, like a pinky pig colour, which I've watered down, and that'll be for the main body. I'm just going to brush that across the whole image. We'll make the other one just a tad richer. And what we can do then is go in with the richer colour on this paler one, and we'll just make his snout a bit more defined, and his ears, little trotters. I'm happy with that one. And then on this one here, I'm just going to go in with a slightly darker colour, just to give him a bit of tone as well. So almost like a brownie red I've got on this one. So let's just, it's like being in the mud, isn't it? We'll just give him a bit of tone. There we go. That's that. So I'm happy with all those. So I'm just going to go and dry this off with a heat gun now, just to make sure it doesn't smudge. There we go. That's brilliant. I've got my die plates in now, so I'll bring them back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same die that we used to cut these apertures out of this main hard blank. I've just forgot where I've put it though. Hang on. There we go. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to put this over the image that I'm wanting. So I'm just going to make sure that masking tape's not too sticky. I think we need the sun on this one. I'll pop that under there. And just take that through. It really doesn't take long, does it, when you're only just taking a part of that background stamp out? Just get that off the board. Let's get my pokey tool. I well love these plates. I'm sure a lot of you crafters out there will have the same at home. There's that many die cut marks in them. So I'm going to move that now onto the second bit. I want to die cut this with the sentiment towards the top half. So I think we're going to go for there. We'll stick that there. And while I'm taking that through, I'm going to put our little characters through as well to be die cut. I'll just secure them with a little bit of low type masking tape. Don't want these to slip. You don't want to ruin your artwork for the sake of a little bit of tape to secure it in place. So that one there. And that one there. And pop a little bit of, there we go. And then pop that through and get that all put in one go. Nearly there. So we've got our little piggy friends all cut out. And then I've got the second one of those like scenic panels that we're doing. It's just picked up a little bit of black off the actual die cutting plate, but it's fine. So I could just put these straight in, but it wouldn't create a board that I want to give it that effect. So I'm just going to trim these now, taking the dotted edge out of them from the die. So a really, really fast way of doing it is just to follow where those dotted lines are. Take that around. And do the same for the other side. Just using that detail that's on that like perforated die edge. Just taking that off. And that's going to create our black border as well to give us a little bit more effect. There you go, with them bits out of the way. We use our tape runner. Put one within that kind of area. Give that a good push down. Do the same for this other one. Kind of frames them, doesn't it? Just by giving them that black border around them as well. And then I've got some little foam pads, which I'll just bring in. And we're going to have Pick Out It's Your Birthday. I think we'll have this little fella sleeping almost at the bottom. Might have it too much. And then we'll have this one dancing in the field. I'll stand up for you. There you go. That's a lovely quick card using those straps that you may have got at home. Really vibrant, this one, with the different colours, but you could alter that to your kind of theme. Look nice in kind of pale pastel colours, wouldn't it? Or like I said earlier, if you want to do it in like similar tones, like different pink tones, I'm sure you could replace these insert areas with a dye that you've got. Maybe floral bits would look nice. But I hope you enjoyed that demonstration for today, and thanks very much for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.